there, Ben. Hope you're having a great trip. This is your video lesson. Let's see here. Two things I want to talk about. I'll talk about those two things, maybe 2.5 things. If there's any questions at the end or when you look at anything, feel free to send a message on over, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So let's get to it. So I had a chance to review your video when you sent it over to me. Yes, awesome. That's what I want. More of that, please. And we're going to fine tune that even more to make it make your phrasing even more. Right, so excellent work. I think I mentioned in a text real quick that I shot over to you after I watched it. After I was like, yes, he gets it. He finally gets it. It ain't about how many notes you jam into a measure. That's like saying you come over and you go in my garage and I got all the tools in there from all the jobs I've done around that house, and you only know how to use one tool. And that's the only tool that you know. Shred in fast playing is just one tool in the toolbox. To be a really effective lead player or solo player, like the guys in Dave Matthews or Goose or Fish or any of those jam band kind of things, or just to be honest with you, really anybody who plays a melody. That's really what we're doing in the end. We're playing melodies. Is that they have a command, they have a palette, and they've studied all these different kinds of effects. Shredding, playing fast, tapping, vibrato, which I'll talk about in a second, legato, slurs, hammer-on slides, things like that. Those are just all things that they have, tools that they have. The same way that we talk about pentatonics and major, and then eventually we'll get into modes and things like that. Those are all tools. When I go to my garage and I look at all the tools that I have on my pegboard, I'm not going to go redo the bathroom and then grab, I don't know, a hacksaw, right? I'm not going to start going at the wall with a hacksaw. Well, you know, I'm really good at the hacksaw, I'm going to use that one. No, it's whatever the situation calls for is with the tool that you bring out. And if you just try to come at everything, you know, not that you're going to do this anymore, but like, that's a cool tool to have. That's like saying my miter saw is awesome, but then I'm not going to use that miter saw to fix the plumbing, right? It's just the wrong tool for the job. And then that's why I gave you Magnolia. We'll probably do a strum, like a riff tune next, and then going back to another jam tune. Is that you have to go, okay, here is a song that's pretty and it's slow. I might as well put that in for now. Save that for a second. All right. So you don't come at it going, hey, I'm gonna jam as many notes in that measure because that's all I know how to do is just to play like a whittledy riff, or as my teacher calls it, jazz hands. Him and his buddies, man, my teacher, like he'll come in and both my teachers, both of them will just shred up and down all that fast stuff, right? And but he's like, we're not doing that all the time. Like, you'll hear that at a show. He had to tell me this because I thought that's what after he was like, oh yeah, he doesn't do that all the time. Is that like, I actually listen to recording and like, oh really? They have the ability to do that, but that's not what they're doing all the time. They're playing really pretty melodies. And then at the end, at the climax, they'll throw out like the fast stuff. But like, if I just say the solo is 100% of the solo, right? And I chop it up in small pieces, I'd say like 75, 80% are just pretty melodies. And then like that last like 15, 20% is like maybe some fast playing interspersed in between, right? So you can totally play fast with Magnolia, but you gotta learn how to play slow first and melodically before you start playing fast. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. The next exercise is the importance of landing on the right note at the right time. If you land too early or you land too late, it sounds like you kind of like, okay, you're going to rehearsal and you listen to the song that you guys are going to jam out, but you actually haven't played it yet. So you kind of know how it goes, and when you get there and play, it's kind of like, okay, I know how it sounds, but you haven't polished it yet. And that's what we're talking about with what we're going to do next, is that, say if I'm playing, or say if this is playing, right? See, right there, what I did was, I have two chords, right? And that's why we're doing this 2-chord song right now, is because if you throw more chords in, it gets more complex and more convoluted. It's just harder to think about. So over top of the C chord, I did an E form arpeggio. or sorry, no, the rotund C chord, yes. The rotund C chord, I did a C chord arpeggio. And then I really like the sound of that major 7. So I landed on that B right there. So I went, I slid up to it. And then when I came back down to the F major 7, I had a note in mind, right? I know that F major 7 is made up of F, A, C, and E because I've written out the key of F. I've written out F major and I've circled those notes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The major 7. Well, you can remember for that one. So I went to the key of C major. I circled all the notes of C major 7, and then in that same scale, I found all the notes using the skipping method. I found all the notes of F major 7, and then I wrote those out and go, hey, wait a second, that's C major, and then F major is that there based off of my A form, right? So my first chord is this, my second chord is this, and I gotta play that melodically. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the C chord over the C chord. I'm gonna slide in, hit that note, and as a real quick aside, a chord brief, I'm grabbing that from the pentatonic, from the C major pentatonic. Grab the note from the C major pentatonic, slide into that B because I like the sound of it. And then I come down and grab that A, because that A is part of the F chord, but I'm only going to land on that note has to be right there. Then on C, so I'm landing on chord tones at the right moment rather than getting there early. See how it sounds weird there? I let it ring over and it sounded super weird. So when I landed on that, I landed on a note from F, but I got there like slightly too early, and it's a clashing sound between the C chord and the F major 7 chord. You gotta be really pedantic with this stuff, to a fault almost. That you want to make sure when you're laying on these notes, you land at the right second. So it's not so much as playing the right note, but playing the right note at the right time. Right. So I put that backtrack back on. Tones on the downbeats.